scared Leonard. He made a run for it. The man pursued him, and they spilt into the next blocks, all over each other as they ran. Now, I think Leonard's idea was that while he distracted the shopkeeper, Jesse would then rob the place. Except, Jesse weren't no street kid. He missed his cue. The shopkeeper chased Leonard down an alley, and Jesse failed to see which street because of the dark. Jesse hurried to try and locate the fight, but couldn't find it. There must have been more chase. They weren't at any of the streets or alleys that touched the end of the tobacconist's street. Jesse lurked around the cigarette shop for a bit on the other side of the street, still wearing Leonard's jacket, pacing, trying to think of what he should do. A half-dozen confused moments passed for Jesse when the shopkeeper returned. "I'm sorry!" Jesse yelled to him. Shopkeeper saw him but didn't say anything. Jesse figured he'd accept the apology later, some seconds after he figured Jesse didn't steal anything. Jesse walked to Hewitt Street. Some time passed. Jesse ran across the street to where Leonard was puking into some bushes. After he stopped puking, Leonard started muttering to himself. Leonard had yet to notice that Jesse was sitting near. When he noticed, and Jesse didn't look over right away, he started to get louder. It was clear he was angry at himself. It seemed obvious to Jesse that Leonard had lost what fight there was with the shopkeeper. They wandered around for a bit so Leonard could catch his breath. "Do you need a place to sleep?" Leonard asked him as if he were about to depart. "No." Leonard started to lead the way. Yes. Do you mind at all?" They arrived at the house and the room Leonard lived in with his girl. People around town called her lunchbox. Jesse didn't catch her real name. She was a mumbler. Leonard and Jesse bullshit, passed some smokable substances around. Lunchbox left under the pretense of picking up dinner. Jesse snorted some speed, which he had purchased from Leonard's neighbor. He laid back on the floor, his head on his bag. "Working hard, man. Damn hard," Leonard said. Jesse met his eyes. "Got my hearing coming up. Want to spend some time with my daughter." Jesse just listened. He knew Leonard to be a wild man. Anyone could tell the kids were better off without him. "I didn't know why the fuck they ripped my baby away from me in the first place." Jesse started to drift off. Leonard started to rifle through his poofy jacket obsessively. "Hey, Jesse." Jesse rose from his startled slumber. "Where's the 20 that was in the front pocket?" "Huh? There wasn't any. When I put that jacket on, the fucking pockets were empty." "Yeah? Sure you didn't take it?" "No, I didn't," Jesse said sternly. "If it is here, we will find it." Yeah, you're right. I probably just misplaced it." Leonard sat on the floor crisscross. Jesse sighed and slouched back down again. He prayed silently that Leonard would just quiet down, but somehow he knew that this would not end soon. "God, I'm fucking sure it was there." Leonard sighed, ran his fingers through his greasy black hair. Maybe you didn't notice it. Who did you say you were standing next to? That one homeless guy. I can't remember his name. But I'm telling you, man, there weren't no money. I could have missed it, but I don't think so. Jesse started scratching his head. "Yeah, you're right. I probably just spent it already." "Yeah, that's it. I spent it." Leonard smiled reassuringly. Jesse started to lay his head down. Again, Leonard disturbed him again. Who did you say you were standing next to? That guy, Dale. That's his name, Dale. But he didn't take it. I know him. He wouldn't steal from me, and even if he did, the guy can hardly remember his own name. Don't bother him. Jesse rose. As a matter of fact, if you don't knock this shit off, I'm gonna go somewhere else. If there was money, I didn't take it, Lenny. What do you mean, if? Why the fuck don't you hold off on the Inquisition until your roommate gets back? She's probably the one that's got it. Why the fuck don't you ask Lunchbox? Don't call her that. Jesus Christ, I was just joking. Yeah? Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Relax. Yeah? Okay. I'm fucking tired, man. Jesse started to lay back down. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you'd tell me even if you had taken it. It's a stupid question. Jesse jumped up to his feet. He started packing his few things up. Leonard clung to Jesse's elbow and shoulder with rapidity and gentility. No, it's okay. I'm sorry, Jesse. Jesse continued packing. No. Leonard started muttering to himself a bit, mostly the word no. His clay mask of sanity was cracking. No. Leonard took a deep breath. Leave the bag where it's at and sit the fuck down, Leonard commanded, threatening Jesse with a hammer in his left hand. Jesse assessed the situation in a mere moment and decided that his stance of defiance was best. Leonard was a head taller than Jesse, and the computer bag at least held some chance he could dodge the hammer, and there was no fucking way in hell he was going to sit down. Jesse knew what Bukowski had taught him, to never kneel. You want to look through my bag, Leonard? There will be no sitting. Okay, let's see the fucking bag. Set it down. At the same moment, Jesse could hear Lunchbox coming through the front door. He acted as to hand the bag over to him, and as soon as Lunchbox distracted Leonard from his rear left, the only exit, when she arrived back with groceries, Jesse smacked him over the face with the bag, and he dropped the hammer. Jesse rescued the hammer from hitting the floor. This is mine now, Jesse threatened him with it. Leonard flinched. Actually, Lunchbox piped up meekly, it's mine. Jesse looked at her like she was crazy, but tossed it to her side of the room. While he had a chance, Jesse finally exited that room in that red house. Leonard pursued Jesse out into the street. A gun was in his waistband. Hey! Wait! He wailed. Please, stop! He exclaimed this in a kind of a sob. I just wanted to be your friend. Please wait up. Aren't I your friend? I thought I was your friend. At this, Jesse stopped a moment, even as scared as he was. Leonard? Jesse's sternness stopped Leonard in his tracks. His eyes quit moving around. He stopped a few feet from Jesse to listen. Believe me when I say that I am and always will be your friend. But if you were my friend, then you would leave me alone now. Then Jesse quickly turned his back to Leonard. Jesse had not paid attention to the lack of approaching quarters, unfortunately, and so he started to pick up speed, but not to appear as if he was running, even though he was, until he was around the corner. Nah. You see, we gotta find that $10. Leonard drooled a little bit. Jesse wasn't aware of the gun in his waistband, but he heard a distinct metal click, somewhat like the crinkling of a plastic Gatorade bottle. Who in the fuck did you say you were standing next to?
Dale! Yeah, man. We go find him.
Leonard put a hand on Jesse's shoulder, who elbowed him in the stomach and ran faster than any imagined possible speed. He took shelter in one of those stared alcoves with a door to a home at the bottom of them. His eyes peered barely over the edge to see a barren 4 a.m. Hewitt street. Leonard stumbled into it with pajamas and his poofy jacket, his gun out and pointed down. He looked either way, and Jesse could never be sure whether he could see him or not, but Leonard stared his way for a very long time before deciding to head home for another bump. After he was certain Leonard had gone home, Jesse wandered around looking for a place to sleep. He walked on his smashed, worn legs for what seemed like ages. His Aunt Laurie's house was hard to find, but miraculously he spotted it. He walked down the drive that was by no mistake unlit and knocked loudly at the door, feeling bad that he had to disturb them. They were very kind and hard-working people, and Jesse wasn't. After a period of about 30 seconds, he knocked ashamedly once again, loudly still. As he was about to leave without knocking a third selfish time, he quite barely heard a soft voice behind the door. "Who is it?" she asked.
Jesse, William Jesse.
"I'm sorry, Jesse, but I can't help you," she said softly.
Okay.
Jesse walked away stealthily. Jesse walked far, far away, even further from where he had come from. Jesse stopped by the side somewhere to check through the bag, but after he unzipped it, he realized all of the clothes had fallen out in the struggle with Leonard, and one of them had managed to huck a loogie in there. Jesse walked a while with his unzipped loogie bag, because he forgot it was there. He couldn't help but having a short, hard cry as he walked down the dark, wet street, coming down off of speed. As he walked, he could hear an argument from one of the houses.
"You do this to me? You fucking bitch!"
It sounded like there was a smack. Jesse hurled his bag at their window.
"Yeah, she is a bitch. You can't say that,"
the man inside hollered back. Jesse hustled slowly, stepped quickly, but not to sprint. He tiptoed. He finally found himself a bus stop to sleep at without causing any further trouble. He tried to sleep, but all he could do was cry, it seemed. Nevertheless, he was awakened by morning. Jesse raised himself from the bench, his back straight, his eyes forward, hypnotized by the orange wall of the old folks' home. He raised himself from the bus shelter and wiped his face. He dawdled a bit, trying to think of what to do next. A few light tears still sparkling on his pale cheek. A woman who sat in the bench turned away from him when his distressed sniffle passed on to her part of his depression disease. Jesse took notice and removed his hands from his pockets, paced quickly to the corner where two streets met. He took a few short, fresh breaths before ducking his head back beneath his collar. Looking down at the ground, he could see the names of the two streets imprinted. Hoyt, Seneca. It was that very same place where he had met Katie Reiner those 13 years ago. Jesse looked off into the intersection, knowing that the steps he heard coming down the hill behind him couldn't possibly be hers. He knew well that she was gone from this place. About to proceed into the crosswalk, he chances the probable disappointment and looks up, tracing the hill from the bottom up with the feet and whoever they would belong to. And there she was. No fucking shit. Jesse runs to embrace her with the force of a tackle. He grabs her by the head and kisses over every inch of it and her wet hair. "I knew you would be here," Katie lied to him.